Hey everyone, Conrad here. You know, I don't know how you have been doing, but for me, it's been a great month. This month marks the largest success in Conrad's channel history. It marks the beginning of a new chapter of creativity, and it marks the first time that I was actually able to adhere to a schedule. So let's talk about this and more in the new episode, the first episode of Conrad's channel monthly review series.
Regret it? Forget it. You ate my mom?
I was hungry.
Now shall we have some McDonald's Big Mac? I mean, escargot.
Tim, I love you too.
I'm going to catch that.
Use rock slide.
What are you doing? This will be a kind of a behind-the-scenes monthly series where I unpack what went into making the videos that I made this month. How did the schedule work? I guess I'm figuring it out as I go. The actual point of this monthly review. Creative process is paramount here. This month, beginning of the month, right? Okay, I'd like to get something out of the way. The Duolingo video, How Duolingo Thinks People Talk, that I posted on, I think, January 28th? January 25th, okay. I am including that video in this recap because I haven't done a recap before, and that video has become massively important in the history of my channel. So let's talk about that Duolingo sketch.
What will you have to eat?
I'll have the pizza with cheese.
I'll have the shrimp. We don't have any more shrimp.
I had no idea this video was going to get as many views as it did. I took a break that was over a month before making this video. So I got back from winter vacation. I was in my house alone before I came to school, and I was about a week into learning German on Duolingo, which I started learning German because my girlfriend is German and I wanted to learn it. The phrases of like, my father is big, my brother is a doctor, my sister is a teacher, were all just like going through my head constantly because that's what I was learning on Duolingo. I guess this is important information for this series. A lot of my creative process occurs on the toilet. You don't have to imagine what's coming out of me when this is happening, but I'm sitting on the toilet. That's where the magic happens, really. I'm writing sketches, I'm making music. I wrote this sketch without ever intending on branding it as a Duolingo video. It was going to be completely out of context. The characters were just going to be having these nonsensical conversations, and it was never going to have anything to do with the language learning app that is Duolingo. I watched it so many times, editing it, I kind of didn't even think it was good. I was like, this, it felt weirdly paced to me at a point, and it felt like the delivery was too flat and like nobody was gonna get past the first 20 seconds. So I went to my friend Tate's house and I said, Tate, what do you think of this video? And he was like, it's awesome. Definitely put Duolingo in the title so people get it. And I was like, oh, okay. So, totally. So we sat there, we made the thumbnail. I'll have the pizza with cheese. Originally, the thumbnail was gonna be my father is big, with the same picture, but just different text. And I'm glad I went with I'll have the pizza with cheese because I'm not sure it would have had the same effect. So, concluding talking about that video catapulted my channel to monetization. I went from having 700 subscribers to having 2,500 subscribers. Just because I posted that video. Nothing close to that has ever happened to me ever. What did that mean for me this February? Fear has set in very quickly. How do I retain this attention? Like, how do I take this audience and put them on my next video? You know, I wanted the success again, more, because when am I ever gonna get an opportunity like this again? And it felt like if I didn't leverage it into something more, that I was going to lose that opportunity. This is not a way to think about your creative pursuits. The success of this video was honestly exhausting. I became addicted to YouTube Studio. I was just opening it constantly. Oh my God, it got 200 more views. Oh my God, it got 200 more views. What is most important to understand is that it does not guarantee success in the future. As much as it feels like, oh my God, I'm getting all these subscribers, they're for sure gonna stay and watch my videos as I make more, it's not the case. I don't want this to turn into the YouTuber complaining about the algorithm and like how hard it is to make money on YouTube, because I don't want, I want this to be a creative recap. So honestly, I'm gonna pivot away from this conversation and I'm going to talk about the next videos that I made, because I feel like I've been on this for way too long. So the next sketch that I wrote is one that I have issues with. The sketch is called People Get Away with Anything in Sitcoms.
And at that point, it's eat or be eaten. It's the snake and the shrew. You and my mom are not the snake and the shrew. I don't understand why you're being so incredulous right now.
I wanted to write a sketch about the unrealistic conflict resolution in sitcoms, where people like double cross each other and they do terrible shit to each other and then just make up at the end by like reminiscing about the past or like hugging. So in this sketch, one of the characters eats the other character's mom. One character is in disbelief of the fact that the other character ate his mom, and that character is kind of defensively explaining why he did it. A comment that I got a lot on this video was, where is the laugh track? I went back and I edited part of it with a laugh track, and I thought to myself, damn it, should have put a laugh track. Of course, it's a sitcom. The thing is, when I made it, I was thinking sitcoms like New Girl that don't have laugh tracks. But obviously, what is recognizably a sitcom is going to have a laugh track. And also a laugh track just would have added a level of comedy, and that would have been good. So I agree with the people who said that that video should have had a laugh track. Moving on, next sketch.
New science. What do you mean by new science?
So before writing this video, I had just watched Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 film, with my girlfriend, and I thought that the presentation of the characters was really funny. Their hair, the way that they dress, the way that they talk is ridiculous in that movie. So I named the characters Mr. Tuffet and Mr. Dougal. In the movie that's like Mr. Darcy. That was the initial inspiration where I started, was I wanted them to be like pompous British men having a pissing contest about something. In the opening shot, I took some inspiration from the character Denethor in Lord of the Rings, who's the king who's anxiously gorging himself on tomatoes. What's his name? Mr. Tuffet is eating apples, and he's. This was also the first video that I used my lavalier microphones. Up until this point, I had basically always just used the internal microphone on my Canon camera. That's not the best. Sometimes it's really distracting, like in the sitcom video, the audio is pretty distracting. Videos like The Rocks Do Not Forgive, the wind was horrendous. In this video, a horse rides by the door. Not a real horse, it's just a little PNG. I really enjoy adding surreal elements to real life just by doing, you know, because it just serves the story. It doesn't matter if it looks like there's a real horse. It just services the story that a horse walks by the door and a knight comes into the doorway and he knocks on the door, and it turns out to be Mr. Dougal. I tried my best to give this video an angle with a title and a thumbnail by calling it Science Used to Be Dumb, and I added a bunch of apples to the scene in the thumbnail, and I put like, apples make you sophisticated, because the scheme I've been going for my thumbnails is kind of like face, text, at least. Face and text. Okay, next sketch. When the director likes feet.
Johnny, I love you.
I was very excited to make this video. Kind of a love story where it's just about their feet. And I got even more excited when I thought of, oh, I can make their mouths appear on their feet so that they're kissing with their feet. So I was like, yeah, this is solid. This feels like a solid idea. And the morning I wrote it, before filming it, I made the animation that appears on the TV that one of the characters is playing a video game. You might have thought that character was playing a real video game about a small foot shooting antifungal cream at a large boss foot, when in fact that is actually not the case. I made that animation. It is not a real video game, and you can't download it. Sorry. I just dragged in PNGs into Final Cut Pro and frame by frame animated them and applied a pixelation filter. It's not like I made pixel art. I just used a filter on already existing images. And I went into Logic and I made a little soundtrack. Very, very simple little 8-bit soundtrack.
Boss point.
Yeah, that was exciting. Little like, creativity there. What I was most proud of about the Foot King game, it is not the main focus of the sketch. It's something that I spent a long time on, but it's just something that a character is doing. So it's world building. Obviously, that video was based on the popular works of directors like Quentin Tarantino, Dan Schneider, very foot-forward directors. And I thought, what would happen if you just turned up the foot fetish to 1,000? And that brings us to the final sketch of this monthly review, When You Find a Shiny Pokémon.
Go Girder!
Now this video was born out of wanting to make a video kind of similar to the Pokemon in real life Smosh videos. Growing up, specifically those videos were extremely inspiring to me. Say what you will about them in retrospect, but at the time, those were revolutionary. The situation I ended up going with in this video was something that actually did occur in real life, and there is a piece of footage to verify this.
I just found a shiny Zubat in Pokemon Black 2, holy crap.
5 years ago, I encountered a shiny Zubat in Castelia sewers, and my rival, who was alongside me, killed it. What the hell? But honestly, I'm over it, so I don't even really think about that anymore. But yeah, I felt like it was convenient also to choose Castelia sewers because this area, which I've been filming in recently, it's the basement of the house that I'm renting a room in. It lends itself to being an indoor area like Castelia sewers in Pokemon. I think what I learned coming out of that video is that I've learned this many times. Trust the process. If you have an idea at the beginning of something, and you start trying to execute it, and you get halfway through executing it, and you think, it's not going to be what I want it to be when I am done. Keep going. Still finish it. Because in editing this video, when I was filming this video, I was like, this is gonna suck. Like, I'm just filming myself, go! Girder. So yeah, trust the process. Trust the edit. I made the rival have a girder with Rock Slide because I felt like that attack most efficiently conveyed the fact that the other Pokemon's just being destroyed. Because I wanted the viewer to understand that once he says use Rock Slide, the other Pokemon is doomed. They're gonna get destroyed because that makes the joke hit harder. And a runner-up was them having a Duwat or a Samurott that had Surf. But that attack would also damage my Pidove, which I felt like was distracting from the narrative. I wanted it to be an attack that only attacks the other two Pokemon. In sum, that Duolingo video represents a massive, anomalous spike in my viewership. I don't expect that level of success going forward, and what I'm most excited about is the people that did bring to my videos. Thank you to the people who did stick around, because baby, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep making videos. We're gonna keep coming up with ideas. We're gonna keep being creative, and we're gonna smash the I didn't come up with anything that we were gonna smash, but usually you're smashing. Usually you have to smash something. You're telling me. This has been episode 1 of this month on Conrad's Channel Monthly Review. I will see you next month when I think I will have 4 more videos to talk about, something like that. I guess I should remind you, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you later. Get ready for this outro.